What's up, everyone? It's Vonkele from the Aliens Love Earth community with a new podcast episode. And today we have special guest Ornyo here. Great to have you here.
Thanks for having me.
It's
I'm really looking forward to this. And,
Yeah.
I've been really looking forward to this.
Yeah, same. And good to hear that. We were too. It's literally the second time that we see each other, but I feel like
exactly.
we have been talking for a lot, and probably that's true as well. But yeah, nice to see you. Nice to have you around. Just as a first question, like I always ask this one to everyone, how would you describe what you're doing creatively if you had to give it a name?
I really like having or basically telling a story with the instrumentals that I make, like in any genre that I do, and the thing is, like the music that I mostly do is drum and bass and surrounding genres that are more bass oriented, like big beat or whatever. And the thing that I miss is like the whole storytelling, progressive aspect that I like to hear in all the progressive rock and progressive metal that I listen to. So generally, I would say that that's the part that I like to introduce into the dance music, like drum and bass. And other than that, I work with rappers, and also the same goes for that. Like I really like to listen to the lyrical content and just kind of tailor the beat around the lyrics so that it really goes hand in hand, or big contrasts, like all that kind of stuff that really tingles the right parts in my heart.
Oh,
So,
cool.
yeah, that's what I like to do.
So a bit of production, and you would call it storytelling, like the whole. You do everything yourself, then, right? Like
Yeah,
sound
absolutely.
design and production, and
I mean, I as like every other producer, I use samples, obviously, but yeah, sound design, and just make the music myself. Yeah.
yeah. I think like picking samples is also like big part of
Exactly.
your sound creation, so to say.
Yeah.
So, all right, cool thing. Interesting to hear also that you then find a lot of influence in like how boomers would call like real instrument music,
Yeah. Well, I mean, this.
and then transform that into electric. Then
Yeah. Basically, I've been making music since I was like really making music since I was 11 years old. So that's 13 years now, probably, maybe longer, and producing like electronic music, that's maybe like the past 5 years. So before that, I used to play in bands, used to make like singer-songwriter music myself, with guitar and vocals, and I've always loved to listen to a lot of different music. Like there's, well, you can rather name the genres that I don't like than the genres that I like, because that's like a super short list.
what are they? Because now I'm curious, of course.
Okay, so like the like après-ski carnival music, like that kind of stuff, and like really bland, straightforward moombahton. Those are the two genres that I really almost never enjoy.
Yeah.
Like when I hear it, it's more likely for me to go home than to stay around. But it's not that I would say, yeah, they're generally bad. Like honestly, I don't think that there's a bad genre. That's stupid to say. It's just something that I don't like to listen to. And
how you look at it, and matter of taste and
but
stuff.
literally in every other genre, there's always something that I like, even if I'm like really picky with what artists or whatever. But yeah.
Cool. So you started with guitar then when you were 11 and singing.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, cool. Do you like remember a song from that time when you were like the 11-year-old Ornyo, like just before you started creating? Like, do you know a song that you love to listen to as like a music consumer before you started like going into the creation of music yourself?
Absolutely. Well, for me that that goes even further back, actually. So when I was 5 years old, I was chilling on my oldest brother's room, and he downloaded like a shit ton of tunes from LimeWire, I think, and then he just went through all of these songs and asked me if I liked it or not. That was the most straightforward thing ever. So played a song for a couple seconds or longer, and then he was like, you think that's good? And then I said, no, fuck this song, or I think, yeah, this is good. And he just collected all the songs that I said that I like, put it on a CD, and gave it to me. So, and the one song that really, really stood out to me was One Step Closer by Linkin Park.
All right.
So I was so captivated by that band. Like every song that I thought was amazing from all the stuff that he had was from Linkin Park.
Cool.
So that was basically the first band that I really like listened to a lot. So when I was 5 years old, I also bought Meteora, the second album, and I used to like scream with the lyrics, like like this volume, like, as if that's like the screaming. But I don't know. It really triggered something in me that I was like, as a 5-year-old, like I want to become a rock star later.
Oh, that's so interesting.
So that was my first and only goal that I ever had in my life.
From
like,
that moment,
to become a rock star.
Because
that's like, I don't know. It just triggered something in me, and there was like, I don't know, maybe a part somewhere in my life where I thought, maybe I need to do something else. But that was super short, and I always stick to my goal of becoming a musician or doing anything music related.
Super cool. I instantly get like 2 questions. Like the first one is how much older was your brother, or is your brother?
10 years.
10 years. Okay. Yeah. Cool. So then when you were 5, he was like 15, and he was like in his musical exploration phase, basically. And then you already started yours.
I mean, he listened to a bunch of different songs. On that CD, there was like Muse. That's a really big part of also my like young life span. Anyway, cool. and I think Green Day, the Rasmus, Rammstein also, obviously. Well, growing up in Germany, I was confronted with Rammstein a lot, obviously, and that's also a band that I really enjoy. But there was a lot of different stuff on there. Also electronic music, like I thought that was good too.
Cool. So before we dive into the track, I'm just curious, like looking back on it now, like what I found very beautiful about what you said, the story about your brother showing it, and you just had to say like, I like it or I like it not. Like that's the most pure form of like, it's not bound to, it's not a cool genre, or it's not cool because of this. It's not over-analyzed. It's just, I like this or I don't like it. But do you, if you look back on it now, have an idea why that sound talked to you so much? And that so much was from like a select group of artists? What hit you from them?
Honestly, I have no idea why my 5-year-old peanut brain thought that Linkin Park was so fucking awesome. Like, I don't know. Because also it took me quite a few years until I enjoyed other metal bands, for that matter. Like I always thought like the really harder metal stuff. Like when I was 8, I think, or 7, I heard Raining Blood by Slayer, and I thought it really sucked. Like I did not enjoy that, But that's so weird, because when I hear it now, I don't think that's a bad song. Obviously, it's fucking Slayer, but still,
Slayer.
Exactly.
Standard at every gig.
No, but Linkin Park, I don't know, they. Like now I know why I like the music now, but it's so much. Like it's about all the emotion and all that stuff, and the dramatique that's in there, and just the voice sound. Maybe it's just something that naturally stuck with me, because it's a special sounding band, and the Chester Bennington's vocals are so incredible. Cool. Maybe it's that, because that's generally the thing that stuck out the most for me as a kid. Like that's the thing that you listen to the most, I think, if you're just starting to listen to music. It's like the vocals, they're like in the front.
Cool.
But
let's dive into some Linkin Park then.
Sick.
Here we go. Hello?
cannot take this anymore. Saying everything I've said before. All these words, they make no sense. I find bliss in ignorance. Less I hear, the less you say. You'll find that out anyway. Just like before. Everything you say to me takes me one step closer to the edge, and I'm about to break. I need a little room to breathe, 'cause I'm one step closer to the edge. I'm about to break. I find the answers aren't so clear. Wish I could find a way to disappear. All these thoughts, they make no sense. I found bliss in ignorance. Nothing seems to go away. Over and over again. Just like before. Everything you say to me takes me one step closer to the edge, and I'm about to break. I need a little room to breathe, 'cause I'm one step closer to the edge. I'm about to break. Everything you say to me takes me one step closer to the edge, and I'm about to break. I need a little room to breathe, 'cause I'm one step closer to the edge, and I'm about to break. 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 Shut up when I'm talking to you. Shut up. Shut up. Shut up. Shut up when I'm talking to you. Shut up. Shut up. Shut up. Shut up. I'm about to break. Everything you say to me takes me one step closer to the edge, and I'm about to break. I need a little room to breathe, 'cause I'm one step closer to the edge. I'm about to break. Everything you say to me takes me one step closer to the edge, and I'm about to break. I need a little room to breathe, 'cause I'm one step closer to the edge, and I'm about to.
Your transitions Einstein, you weirdo.
Yeah.
Fucking freak.
All right. Cool.
All right, nice. That's a sick song.
Yeah, that was very nice indeed. And a cool story about it as well. A bit of nostalgia. Over
Yeah,
there.
yeah, absolutely. I haven't listened to this in a pretty long time, so I thought, I don't know.
It's a nice throwback.
Always enjoy it.
Yeah.
Always enjoy Linkin Park.
Yeah, it's fun. Like during the listening, we talked a bit about it as well, and how it like we all know this song and how we discovered it. So really nice indeed.
Yeah.
So that's like a bit of like you consuming music before you like transitioned into actually making it.
Uh-huh.
And you already said that started around like 11 with playing the guitar.
Like
and
actual, like I wanted to become a musician and all that, like as of like 5 years old.
Already,
and
yeah.
I've been. When I was playing outside on my own, for example, I used to sing and all that kind of stuff, and then people would walk past me, and I would be really ashamed. But I mean, I was just really just making up words because I couldn't speak English at that time, so I was just making English lyrics and already like singing and all that stuff to just make my own music, but I wouldn't consider that like actual like making music, because those were like fantasy lyrics and all that. But when I was 11 years old, I wrote my first song, which was a very well, in retrospect, a very cliche love song, but I was very heartbroken and all that stuff. So I was, I mean, I started playing guitar more seriously. Like I got my first guitar when I was like 8 or 9 or something, and then it just stood around in my room, and I thought, yeah, whatever. And when I was 11, I thought, I have this thing here. Like, why not play it? It's fucking sick to play guitar. Like, just play any instrument. So I started playing it more, and then I got lessons and all that. So it went like exponentially from there, and really put a lot of time into making music from that point on.
Okay.
Yeah.
And do you have an idea what like, because it's interesting that the guitar was standing there already. Do you know if there's like a specific moment or song or a thing happening in your life that pushed you to actually picking it up and taking those lessons? And do you know what happened there that it became more of an active approach to it?
Yeah, I mean, there was never a part in my life where I didn't listen to shitload of music. Like I was always listening to a bunch of music, and especially like when I was 10 or 11, I discovered Slipknot for myself, and which I would say is one of my all-time favorite bands. I even have a tattoo on my leg from it, and all that stuff. So I think it was because I thought, well, literally what I said, I was standing in my room, seeing that guitar in the corner, and I mean, I sometimes played like an A minor chord on it, but that's like all I could do, you know. So after a while, I thought, wouldn't it be sick if I could play actual cool songs on it? So that's what kind of made that change for me. It was literally on a random day. There was not specific. There was not a specific thing that happened that made me play the guitar more.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. And do you know if there's like a song that you picked up first on the guitar that you played?
That was I think The Big Gun Down by The Prodigy.
Okay.
It has like one single guitar riff in there, like just da 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 da, like some guitar riff, and I thought, well, okay, I'm gonna practice that, and when I got that down, I can prove to my parents that I'm really motivated to learn the guitar, so that they pay guitar lessons for me, because like
so that was your proof of,
exactly.
If I show that I'm interested.
Yeah.
And you were like 11 but already aware of like,
I mean, they said it to me. They said, like, I don't know, we're not gonna just randomly pay some guitar lessons for you if it's something that's fleeting, that you just want to do now, and in like half a year you think like, yeah, whatever, I don't want to do it anymore. So or
wanted to invest in something that's like really lasting and
exactly. So if you have this this motivation out of yourself to learn any song, just like a single song, then that would show my parents that I would be interested enough to actually put time into learning the guitar.
All right.
Yeah.
So The Prodigy with?
I think The Big Gun Down. I think that was the song.
Let's have a listen.
Yeah. All right. Let's go. It's Nice. No, it's not. It's not in that playlist. I'm sorry. I was not prepared for this question.
No matter. All right. Cool.
Yeah.
The Prodigy.
The goats.
Yeah. I just wanted to say, like, you said that this was like the first song you learned on guitar, but I find it a pretty interesting one that you pick like electronic music already as your first guitar track. Like when I played guitar or started to learn tracks outside of like classical Spanish, what I learned first, when I started to learn songs, I would go for things that would be considered like cool rock music, you know, like playing Guns N' Roses and stuff, and then build up from there. Or like if you would be more metal orientated, I would like say Slayer or something, but you went for the Prodigy. So that's interesting, man.
I mean, the thing was also when I was that age, I didn't really see the Prodigy as like an electronic act. Like I know it is, but I always saw it as like a band that has a very large electronic part in the sound, you know, that I also their live performances back in the day with Invaders Must Die always had a live drummer, live guitar player, and maybe even a live bassist. I'm not even sure. No, probably not. But anyway, it's like I saw it as a band.
Yeah.
Later on, I realized, okay, they were like derivative from rave culture, and it's like actually an electronic act. But it was I think it was just the circumstances that I was listening to the Prodigy a lot when I was 11 years old, and I thought, okay, this sounds like a pretty doable riff to learn, and that's how it got to that point.
Super interesting. Like even if you would consider it as like a band playing it, then it's still a very interesting song to pick. But it makes sense if you were like in love with that album because you had that then.
Exactly.
Listen to it a lot, that you were like thinking like, I'll pick that one.
And also like the other music that I was listening to that are like, I was mainly obviously listening to metal and rock, but as a child then I would not have thought that I would be able to play those songs. Like I thought, I can say, I want to learn System of a Down, but obviously I was not skilled enough to just randomly learn a System of a Down track. And this riff sounded like, I think I can figure this out.
Cool.
So that's how I got to that point.
Very cool song, and funny that it's our cameraman Azuri is like in love with the Prodigy as well, but he didn't even recognize the song instantly as well. So it's cool. That's what I love about this setting as well, that you like really discover new songs as well, even if they're older, and like get enthusiastic and hyped about it together. I'm really
very
cool.
glad about that, man. I was worried that I would only show you tunes that you already know and all that. Like
I produce drum and bass. I come with the Prodigy.
It's like
do you know this cool producer? It's called Noisia or something.
Exactly.
Fun.
Super niche.
All right. To switch up a little, we also have like an Earth team in the whole community and stuff, and I'm always looking for like new spots to travel to and enrich my travel and experiences and the beauty of this planet. So I got a very random other question, but what's the most beautiful spot you ever visited on planet Earth, and what made it so pretty and interesting and special to you?
That's a hard question.
You're welcome.
Because there's I mean, for me personally, the beauty in a certain place comes from the context mostly. Like I mean, I've obviously stood on places where I thought, wow, this looks really, really sick or so beautiful, and then all that. But it I've seen. I mean, for example, when I was in Nijmegen, there you have just the view from the side on the river. If you stand by the Waal, by the river, and you look at the bridge, you can see the nature that's also there, like the beach and all that. And one time I was there in like early morning at like 5 in the morning in the summer, and the sun was just coming up, and the sun was literally pink, and there was all this mist, and it looked so sick. But still, I wouldn't say like, oh yeah, that was the most beautiful place on earth. It's Nijmegen, you know. But I mean, it's a great city. Don't get me wrong. But
it reminds me of that TikTok challenge that, oh my god, and that you then show the beauty of the Netherlands, and then you show like super ugly things.
Yeah.
But this sounds really pretty, and I know where
it was insane. Like I was overwhelmed by how insanely beautiful it looked, you know.
Yeah.
But okay, if I have to pick some spot that really stood out for me in my life, it was I don't know, when I was younger. The first time I went to Slovenia with my family, we went there on holiday, and we walked up on this mountain called the Stol, Stol. That's the name of that mountain.
All right.
And yeah, so we started really from the bottom of the mountain and went all the way straight to the top of it, as far as you could walk, you know. And it was so cool to see just how you know, you start your journey there, in between these tall trees and just walking through the forest, and after a while the trees become smaller, the plants are more diverse and all that, and you just it just all transitions through these really diverse types of vegetation, and it just looked so cool, you know. You could really see you were getting higher up the mountain as more as the trees weren't there, you know. After a while you get over the tree line and there's just like small bushes and plants and all that.
Yeah.
And after a while, after a pretty long walk, we got on the top, and could just enjoy the view and enjoy the fact that we got on top of that mountain. And one thing that just comes to my head again about that journey was that when we stood up there and just looked around, you know, I heard my mother scream. I was like, holy shit, what happened? It really sounded like something bad happened.
Yeah.
So I said, oh shit, what's up? And I went to her, and she was like really happy about. She found a flower.
Uh-huh.
And I honestly do not know what that name of the flower is, other than the German name. It's just Edelweiss.
Ah,
You know that type of
I
flower?
know it. I know the name of the flower from a song from The Sound of Music.
Okay, cool. Yeah, all right.
Yeah.
Like, it's this weird
Yeah.
small flower that's really fuzzy and
Yeah.
looks really cool. But it's so interesting because you barely see it anywhere in nature. You know, you have a lot of replicas, or well, not replicas. You know the how they just make them in plantations and all that, but they still look a kind of different, more yellowish. In the mountains, when you find them in nature, they're really, really white. Like, they're super white and super beautiful. And with just one singular flower, and so
She was so hyped about
she
it
screamed like in
that she found it.
excitement when she saw that. Like, holy shit! I thought she fell or something. It was so insane, but I don't know. This just walking up that mountain was something that really, really stood out to me, especially because I hope that I'm not sidetracking too much.
No.
But
It's enthusiasm. It's legit.
yeah,
so go for it. Yeah.
I mean, like 2 weeks ago, I went to Switzerland with my family also for the weekend, and like we didn't really go up a mountain or something, but I saw all these really, really big, beautiful mountains there, and I for the first time in a long time, I felt the urge to just go on a vacation again and just walk up a mountain, to be standing there and thinking, damn, I just did that, and then all the stuff that you normally worry about isn't really a thing anymore, you know. It's just it's
Is
something
that maybe
that,
also what, like, of course there's not just one beautiful spot in Earth, to answer your question why it was so hard for you to answer that, like, with one spot, but is it also not that maybe nature or going out somewhere on, like, outside, isn't that like one of the beautiful things in it, that you can actually detach from, like, the regular world and just forget time for a bit?
Absolutely.
And then with the scenery combined, it's like part of it.
Absolutely. I think it's very important for a human to still stay connected with the nature, and
Happy that we invited you for this then.
Yeah, exactly. But also because I see it all around me. So many people feel so lost and unhappy in a way that they really cannot find out why they feel so unhappy.
Yeah.
But personally, I think that has a lot to do with the fact that they just feel so disconnected from everyone around them and themselves and nature, which is basically at the end of the day leads all to the same thing. But that's like, yeah. I don't know.
Go ahead.
Yeah, it's something that I've been thinking about for the last couple of years. So the whole, yeah, people just focusing on the wrong things, or focusing on trying to solve like imaginary problems instead of finding their way back to understanding each other's, and not villainize each other's for every single fucking thing that you think is worth arguing about. It's so weird. Like, everyone's so keen on arguing about everything.
Like the feeling of like having to prove yourself or win a competition
Yeah,
in a discussion rather than just
trying to understand
and have a conversation.
trying to understand the other person, and yeah, like the whole connection with nature is something that I think is also so important, and so something that you shouldn't really see as like a tree hugger hippie type of thing. It's like basically very normal. Like, I don't know how we got to that point that it's like weird to
hug a tree.
Yeah, exactly. Like, what the hell? Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, cool, man. Yeah, thanks for sharing. Found that a very interesting insight.
No.
Now that we're talking about like nature and like connecting back with that, is it also something that you experienced while producing or working on music, that it, like the beauty of nature or reconnecting with nature, or how you call it, that can help you in your productions? Or is it the opposite, and is it more like disconnecting from everything, thinking and just being?
It depends, man. It really depends. I get my inspiration out of a bunch of different things. Like, it can be positive or negative emotions. It can be just exactly walking through nature, and just that's something that has helped me a lot, especially with working with other people. Like, just before we go on trying to make a track, we just go on a walk, like, without anything. Just go for a walk, check out, even if it's a park. I don't know. Just chilling in a park and just letting go of all the input that you normally get from like your phone, and all the fleeting short-term information that no one needs. It's really nice to just let go of all that and think about what you're actually just experiencing in a moment or in a day, and then trying to make something out of that, for example. But yeah, if I think back to, like, for example, last summer, I went to a house, like an Airbnb in the nature here in the Netherlands, with Cube, the rapper that I've been working on with the album. So we went there just to work on that album, and that was also really cool, because that was basically like a house with a huge. Like, they had a bunch of chicken and a bunch of apple trees and vegetables and all that. So it was really in the value, you know. You have a bunch of trees there also, although they're all planted by humans. But still, it's something.
Less real forest is in eastern Poland, I believe, in Europe. Like
absolutely
ancient forest. Yeah.
Yeah, but
yeah.
Still, you know, it was nice to be in that kind of environment, to just be able to listen to birds and just talk about things that we actually care about.
Yeah.
And on the other hand, yeah, I mean, if I feel overwhelmed or whatever by the inputs that I get in like an urban life, which doesn't happen that much. I'm not really a person that gets overwhelmed too fast, but still, like, I can still put that into music, but the music will definitely sound different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Cool. So I know you brought like a little snippet of your own track of what you're making right now.
Yeah.
But before we dive into that, I would like to check into a track that like influenced your style, or like helped develop your style into the direction that you're producing now, so that we have like can like see if we can have the link. So what's the track that like really helps you to get into the artistic direction of the style that you're producing now?
Yeah.
I know there are probably many as well.
There are
Started to learn.
I've just recently started to try to list the artists and bands that influence my musical style. And it's like a list of fucking 20 acts or so. So it's like, I hear in my own productions, like I hear, this is kind of influenced by this artist or whatever.
Cool.
But yeah, just to keep it simple, I
Let's
think
just
we can
pick one, because otherwise all the podcasts are like an hour, and then we have Ornyo is 24 hours. Like a
Oh
marathon.
god,
Yeah.
no. Let's listen to Retrospect by Tesseract.
All right.
And that's today I'm just gonna bring on a bunch of non-electronic music, although even though I actually make electronic music, but just for the change, you know.
I mean, I like the diversity of that, and
Cool.
then people just need to subscribe and check in for the YouTube set then later to see
Hell
what you
yeah.
actually do.
Yeah, exactly.
Cool. Let's have a listen.
All right, cool.
Retrospect.
Off matter, yeah.
All right. Cool.
Well, metal.
Yeah, metal, but very dynamic. And I'm also very very interested in how that's gonna link to what you make, because your music, I consider at least quite electronic influenced.
Yeah,
so to
yeah,
say.
yeah, yeah.
So what are things that you really take away from this sound into your current sound? What helped to shape it, like in what you make now?
Like the actual emotion that I feel when I listen to these songs. Like when I hear, for example, this song by Tesseract, or generally that album, or Tool, for example, you know, it has such a wide range of different riffs, and just the musical arrangement really takes you on a journey itself. Like even if you don't listen to the lyrics or don't know what the lyrics are about at all, you still really depict this sort of a long road that you take. You know, it's you experience all these different things and sounds and feelings in this album. And when I listen to drum and bass, for example, you mostly have, I don't know, 32 bars intro, 64 bars drop, 32 bars break, and then 64 bars drop again, maybe an outro. It's just super predictable. And even though it's great, you know, in DJ context, like if you listen to a DJ set, it works really good, because then the DJ decides, okay, after the drop, I'm gonna introduce a different song, you know,
Yeah.
and sometimes the tunes are a little bit empty, so that you can fill it up with another song and all that. Like it's really considerate in this format of DJing.
Yeah. And
And-
making it easy for a DJ to pick up
Yeah.
your song, and therefore you don't want to make it too complex, because otherwise they don't choose your song in their sets. And
Exactly.
Then, then that develops.
And then you also obviously have a bunch of artists that make super fucking complex drum and bass, like, I don't know, Culprit or Volume or whatever. Like these guys, they you can use those songs in a DJ set, but still they are very much made for listening, and there's no in between. And that's like the thing that I like to try, is to make something that you could potentially put in a DJ set, but if you listen to it on your own, like just check out the whole song, you have a bunch of stuff you can discover, and that's something that I always feel like is so good with progressive metal, and also progressive rock, like for example Mars Volta or whatever. Like these bands, you can listen to these albums time and time again, and there's always something new to discover.
cool.
Yeah.
All right. I just became very curious now for what you brought as like a sneak preview and how this is gonna tie into that. So let's just jump into
God.
it. Do you want to say something about the production you took, or what you're making right now?
Don't have any expectations.
All right, then we won't. And then we'll just put on new offset thing.
Great.
Here we go.
Let's go.
Very sick, man. Well,
Thanks.
yeah, really cool. I from like the first time that I listened to one of your songs, and I also noticed it on I think the snippets of like a Booster Festival thing that you had on your Instagram and stuff. I really feel that the changing of rhythms and like surprising elements, and also with your other track August that we will play at the whole end of the thing.
All right.
Like what I found really cool there is, and I listened to it together with Azeri as well, like the richness of like variations, and like exactly what you said before we put it on, like don't expect anything, or don't know what to expect.
Yeah, exactly. No expectations.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's the for me especially is that's like the thing that I really love in music.
Yeah.
When you hear a song and it there's a bunch of stuff that you really didn't see coming, but works well, you know.
Yeah.
Obviously you can just put a bunch of random shit behind each other and it doesn't work well, you know, but that's that's a difficult thing, I guess, with the whole progressive way of making music, is just to tell a story that feels coherent but still surprises you. You know.
Yeah,
But yeah.
I think it works with this one for sure. For me,
Thanks.
at least, I really
That's
love
good to
how
hear.
it, how it's full of the little surprises. How it like you have the intro and then you're thinking like, oh, when it's gonna build up, and then there's no build up because it's just a little bit of tension building, and then it goes straight for the face with a big fat uppercut, and then you got all these variations, and then you have this moment that it all settles down, and then you have like the tension of the thunderclouds in below.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
then what I said, then comes the alien robot with the laser eyes going.
Yeah.
It's just so full of like surprising elements, and it keeps it very like it's over in a blink because it's just a story. And I'm a fan of it, man.
Really, that's so
Much,
cool to
yeah,
hear.
big
That
time.
I'm really glad to hear that, man.
Yeah.
Because obviously it's not the thing that a bunch of people ask for in drum and bass. So I don't know how people feel about that. I just make the stuff that I want to make for
Yeah.
myself, you know. And then I'm really glad to hear that it lands well, man.
Yeah,
Nice.
I find it original, but I also find it very powerful, and production-wise, it's very on level, I would say. And also the fact that only from hearing like a couple of songs and knowing now which elements you use, I think it's also like a very unique but own style and sound and direction. And I think that's very powerful to have as an artist. And
Sick.
as long as you can build a set around it, then it's fine, right? If you
Thanks.
can perform it and people like it. So now I'm even more curious for like the set. I was talking to Azeri already. I'm so hyped for like seeing the set. So
God.
yeah, so that will be coming online a little bit after you see this. So if you don't want to miss it as well, like subscribe. I hate to say it, but I don't think you want to miss the set as we do.
Again, no expectations, please.
Yeah, but still, my expectations are that it's gonna be very cool. So
Good. Yeah.
yeah, we'll
Nice.
see on that.
Cool.
And then if this all wasn't exciting enough already, you also just mentioned that you have something to give away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, for the people that don't know yet, I've been, recently the album Synthetische Speeltuin by Cube came out, and which is fully produced by me and the rapper Cube, he himself. We together, we worked on that album for more than a year, and it's super Dutch. I mean, no, it's not super Dutch, but it's for the people that don't speak Dutch, it's in Dutch, so that you know it. But other than that, we were really putting a lot of effort into it, and a lot of thinking, especially about it tackles a bunch of different subjects that also we've mentioned somewhat in this podcast, and like the connection with nature, and especially the connection with the people around us that is lost, like and it basically tackles all the stuff that Cube, whose name is Jasper also, by the way, he and me both have been thinking about a lot. So that was a very cool thing.
Cool.
But okay, sorry, let's get back to the thing that I'm giving away. It's
So-
actually like a physical capa of the
that
album.
you see right here in the
Here.
middle between us.
Perfect. Wow, beautiful.
This
It's,
album.
we have the physical CDs available. Also, lyrics booklet. So those two I would love to give away, because
Cool.
I think that album really means a lot to me, and I think it's really great to share beautiful music.
Cool. Very nice. So if you want to win this, then just check like the caption below this, probably Instagram or social post, and then there's everything you need to do to win it. So thanks for sharing that with the viewers, listeners,
Yeah.
and other online people. Cool. I was curious. Everybody has Spotify almost. I know you
A
use
lot of
Spotify.
I use Spotify, and I know too many people. No, I know a bunch of people that use Tidal, which is way better, but still has a lot to.
Mrs.
A bunch of
Library?
stuff that misses. You know, that sucks. But Tidal is great. But no, I use Spotify because I'm a I'm a fish that swims with the stream. I don't
You're
think for myself.
You're very
like,
mainstream.
Yeah,
I think you're a very mainstream guy. Indeed.
No, I'm a victim of society, so that's why I use Spotify.
This podcast is brought to you by Haver Latte en GroenLinks. but I no bullshit. But yeah, cool. So this is like a very long and non-fluent bridge to asking what is your number one in your Spotify Wrapped last year.
Okay, so my number one song in my my past year's Spotify Wrapped is so fucking funny. Like that, like actually a little backstory to that.
Drop it.
So it's one specific soundtrack from Metro 2023, 2033. I'm sorry. So the Metro, Metro, the game.
No,
it's
I don't think so.
It's a video game, first person shooter based on a Russian book, playing in a subway station where like the apocalypse happened or something, whatever. Anyway, there's this part where I was stuck for quite a while, and sometimes you have these radios around that just play music, and there's this, I don't know, like blues rock tune, which is kind of cool, and you have that on the radio. Meanwhile, I'm like killing these weird ass weird mutated things that are crawling around on the floor, and it was super irritating. So I was there for like half an hour, and after a while I got further, but I thought, dude, the music is still the same volume as before. Like, I don't know what's happening, but there's still this fucking song playing. So, but I was like way past the part where there were radios. So I had this kid that I needed to rescue, and in the meanwhile, we have this song, and then after a while, like we find the dying father of that child, and the child is like, no, father, like, oh, it's super dramatic, but in the meantime we have this da 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 da, you have this really groovy fucking blues rock song. I was dying, like that was so funny, and we just, like, my friends and I, we thought, well, this glitch is too good, that's obviously not what the game developers intended to happen, so
but it happened.
we looked it up, and it was not normal, so there was some weird glitch happening in my my Switch. But after that, like, we played some other game, and my best friend, she just put on this song
under everything
on repeat, and we listened to it for, I don't know, hours, and that happened so many times. So that's also the reason why it's in my number one spot.
It's not what you consciously listen to a lot. It's just a meme song.
It's
basically.
Definitely not my. Well, no, it's my favorite song, and let's go listen to it, because it's Roadhouse by Alexei. Mama, Russian name. I don't know. The Roadhouse. Yeah, it's actually
the Roadhouse. Oh yeah, Alexei Omelchuk.
Yeah, man. All right.
Oh yeah.
Let's
go.
Yeah.
We're out for the next few hours. Okay. I can imagine that that's like super funny if you have like a or like not funny maybe, but like a
It was
bit
very
absurd.
funny. It was very funny, dude. It's a game character. I'm not like
Yeah,
feeling
that is
actual
true.
emotion for like a thing.
Like I shoot a million people in that game, and then one random person dying, and
Yeah.
then I would feel sorry.
Dude, imagine you start a first-person shooter and you're like, oh, okay, I'm curious to see, and then you shoot someone in the head and you're like traumatized.
Oh
like,
no! What did I do?
No! Oh my god! No, yeah, that
And then
would,
at the next family dinner, I need to tell something. I did something horrible. I shot a man in the head. Yeah, that would be a bit hard. I
No.
think we have a lot of serial killers then in the world. Yeah.
Alright.
All right.
No.
That's a good one. This is getting more and more fun, actually. Okay, so I'm having something surprised,
Oh, right.
or something prepared as a surprise,
Uh-huh.
to make it a bit spontaneous as well, because you took some tracks, but we're also going in random for something. So you better be ready. If I can find the right screen.
As ready as I can be.
All right. We're gonna do a Wheel of Destiny. And you gotta name a song on the spot within like 10 seconds.
10 seconds, okay, that's doable.
Ish. I'm not too tough on it. If
Okay.
It doesn't happen, but it would be fun if we can get it within 10. With a random emotion that's gonna be decided by the Wheel of Choice.
Alright.
I first need to make sure that my screen is recording, so that people can also see what the outcome of the Wheel of Destiny is.
Very good. That's good.
Okay, let's go. Yeah, so it is running. And we got the Wheel of Destiny here with a selection
Oh, sick. Alright.
moods, and you just need to name one track that comes up with that mood within 10 seconds.
Alright.
Are you ready?
Yes.
Right, here we go.
That's
That worked great.
very good.
We're gonna do it again. Make sound. Yes. Oh.
Pride.
Pride.
That's the hardest of them all. Fuck.
Ornyo.
Yeah, okay, Pride. Like, I think Warriors of the World by Manowar.
Whoa, that came up pretty good actually.
I think that's like a song that's so manly, like, I don't know, it's like,
Do you associate pride with manliness?
no, not necessarily, but I don't
Just
know
curious.
what songs I would associate with pride, like,
Warriors.
I mean, you could see it as like gay pride, I know, but
It is
but-
Pride Month, right?
is
So
it?
it's- Yeah, I believe
Okay.
June is.
Shit, then but fuck it, Manowar, man, that's,
Manowar.
I Warriors of the World, that's like the
Cool.
I haven't heard that song in like 1,000 years, I think, but that's
Yeah.
I don't know. I just think of these old school battle things, and I'm like, oh,
metal,
yeah.
power metal.
Power metal stuff. That's like the first thing that came to my head. So
I
don't
think
know.
my Spotify is like instantly crashing with looking the song.
because it's so manly. I know it's hard to
I
handle.
think my laptop doesn't accept that kind of toxic masculinity.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah, exactly.
I'm too left for that. Okay, I'm gonna Control Alt Delete my laptop. This
Laptop.
episode is so dynamic and so much fun, and like really going all the way. Oh, sorry, microphone. Spotify.
Yeah, Manowar. Let's go.
Yeah. United?
I don't know. It's like just isn't.
Oh, that's the album.
Oh,
or
I
is it
don't
the
know.
world?
It's like it's a song. I think it's United. I don't know.
Okay,
I
let's
just
just
know
go
this.
for the-
I never listened to this band like actively. I just know this single song.
This one?
Yeah.
Okay. Proud Boys.
Let's go into battle.
fight by my side. Gather my horse and weapons. Tell my family how I died. Until then, I will be strong. I will fight for all that is real. All who stand in my way will die by steel. Brothers everywhere, raise your hands into the air. We're warriors, warriors of the world. Brothers everywhere, raise your hands into the air. We're warriors, warriors of the world. Like thunder from the sky, sworn to fight and die. Warriors, warriors of the world. Brothers everywhere, raise your hands into the air. We're warriors, warriors of the world. Brothers everywhere, raise your hands into the air. We're warriors, warriors of the world. Like thunder from the sky, sworn to fight and die. Warriors, warriors of the
Fade out.
Warriors of the world.
Good old music. Fade out.
Yeah.
Als je het niet meer weet.
Yeah.
I'm a pride fade outer. But I do think that fade outs are underrated. In some cases.
Dude.
Yeah.
I mean, like I'm not a person that generally hates fade outs, but
Yeah.
9 out of 10 times I think
That's for another
you can just
episode.
like try to make an outro or just end it at some point
Yeah.
or something. But sometimes you have songs that where the fade out is like also a stylistic device that really helps with, you know, the for
Yeah.
example, have you ever heard of the band or the act Clipping?
not
they're
sure.
they're like a trio of rap hip hop music, but like super fucking experimental. And on one song, it's I think it's called Dream or something. Don't need to listen to it or something, but it has this really long fade out outro with like, it was all a dream. It was all a dream. Just getting quieter and quieter.
All right. Cool. Yeah, that was a very pride song. And then we landed in a discussion about the fade out.
Proud
Pride.
power metal.
Yeah, cool. So I think we're going towards an end because we are like talking for a while already, and
That's good.
I think we could fill multiple episodes. So maybe in the future we'll invite you back because I had a lot of fun.
I would love to. I would love to.
Yeah.
I really enjoy this.
Pleasure was all mine as well. I really it really was a fun and dynamic talk, and we had a lot of laughs as well.
Yeah.
So before we're gonna listen to the last song of the episode, which is your track August, I first wanna hear if you maybe have like a tip for anyone listening. That's like a simple tip that everybody could do to like leave the world a bit of a better place, or like in terms of keeping an eye or showing some love for the planet. Is there something like can be the smallest thing that maybe can help just for some awareness?
I mean, I think just being aware of what you're doing generally is already a good step in the right direction. Like just, even though if you're not like really good with keeping all your trash like divided and all that, or if you from time to time you're lazy and you throw your cigarette on the floor outside, whatever. I mean, sure, it's not great, but being aware of what you're doing is already a step in the right direction. So if you throw your cigarette on the ground, you could think by yourself, it's not great, but you know, well, that really makes a difference already, I think, instead of just ignoring it and thinking like this is normal, this is okay behavior or whatever. And yeah, I mean, I think you can never force anyone to try to be super sustainable and all that kind of stuff. And it's really hard for some people too with everything that they need to worry about in their life. So I understand that, but at least being aware of your actions is something that I always try to advise people.
Yeah, beautiful, man. Thanks for sharing. I see the sun is starting to shine, so I think
Hell
it's
yeah.
time that we move outside to record your
All right.
live performance thing.
Sick.
Just one thing that I noticed about the track that we're gonna listen to now, August. I thought it was just a random title, but then I figured out that you built it around like an August day, right?
Yeah,
That
exactly.
you did a morning and a day and an evening and a night, or
Yeah, exactly. Those are the 4 parts of the song. Yeah.
sick. How did you
Yeah.
come on the idea to like build it around a random day in August?
I
How
mean,
did that happen?
that song generally took so fucking long to make, man. It's insane. I made the drop first. That barely happens normally with my production style. But I just had this drop, and then I thought, oh, okay, cool. That's the first one, and then after a while, I got to making the intro. And I thought, okay, yeah, this sounds cool. This really has this morning summer vibe, like with the offbeat chords and just this very, it kind of reminds me of Ride by 21 Pilots. You know, this also gives me really these summer vibes, and the drop itself goes hard, and oh yeah, let's go. Reminds me of like open air festivals in the summer. But then I thought, okay, it would be cool to just transition this into a more higher contrast to what came before by making it slightly more melancholic and giving this I don't know, minor 7 feel at the yeah, just somewhat melancholic but not sad, you know. And that's the kind of association that I personally get in an evening when the sun is setting in summer, you know. I always have this, it's like warm still, it's really nice, but yeah, it's this very specific feeling that I try to embody in that song. And then the night is where the party is going hard again, and then you can go fucking wild, and that's that drop. And at the end, it all comes back to the intro sound again, which is the morning, obviously.
Cool.
But yeah,
The day around. Cool.
exactly.
Let's have a listen to it. Thank you so
Cool.
much, man, for coming over. I
Thanks
really
for
had a
having
great time.
me, man. I
Thank
really
you all.
enjoyed it.
Yeah, likewise. Thank you all for watching and listening. And yeah, let us know how you find the episode. And let's dive into Ornyo's track, and let's dive into the DJ set.
Hell yeah.
Let's go.